Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Well fellas, today I wanted to show you one of the common mistakes that we all make, and that is this right here. You start to run new fuel line and you think you're going to get back to it in a couple days, and you leave it on the ground, and instead of taping it up or tying it around something off the ground, we just kind of leave it lay there sometimes. And this is what happens to it, fellas. Not just one line, both lines. So what do? Take the line oil back off and blow through it. If you try blowing through it this way, that's not going to be too good, because you're just going to blow it up through the line even more. And if you try to take a little coat hanger or a piece of wire and pull it back out, you're not going to know for sure you have it all out. But that's why, guys, you should always try to make sure when you have a vehicle that you're working on, even if you run to the auto parts store, you should tie it up off the ground, or put a piece of tape over it, or perhaps maybe even temporarily put it on the tank so nothing can get in it. But that brings me to a segment which we're going to talk about not just lines. It's going to be the engine. And the reason I'm bringing an engine up is because I had a friend that had an engine, and he put it together and had it in his garage for basically a week, and went to turn it over and it wouldn't turn over. So it was just naturally sitting there, opened with the exhaust ports open, and what had happened is a mouse had gotten in it. So needless to say, if he didn't bother checking that and just stuck the engine in the car, he would have found out later on that was not good. So, he took the time to turn the engine back over and go through it again before he tried to start it, which is a good thing. He's pretty thorough that way. And then this brings me back to making sure you don't have stuff lay around. My other friend had roller rockers laying on the garage floor, and I kept saying to him, you should not let them lay there like that. And he said, oh, that's fine. They're not hurting anything right there. It's not that dirty there. Well, he found out that it wasn't that dirty there when he picked them up, and it had the little stone sugar sand type things in the bearings where he couldn't even get it back out. He tried using a little pick to get it out of the tolerances, and tried everything he could do to get that sugar sand out of them rockers, because about 3 or 4 of them had it in there. So he puts the engine together and says, oh, that won't hurt anything. And we take it to the track, and the engine starts knocking right away. Coincidence, or was it because of that sugar sand being in them rockers? Long story short, he makes one pass. The engine was toast. It started knocking, oil pressure dropped. But they're the kind of things, fellas, we can't neglect. They're the kind of things that we all do wrong, get in a hurry, and that's exactly why I'm doing this segment here, is so we don't make these mistakes like that. Because we all get caught up in a minute, running to the auto parts store, thinking we're getting right back to it, a friend stops by, we decide to go to the track, or any other thing that might get in the way. And sometimes we wind up being a month before we get back to working on the car. And that's not always a good thing. But I thought I'd make this segment here because I noticed them lines laying on the ground. And I just happened to wonder. I wonder if it has any dirt or any kind of grass or spider webs in it. And it wound up having all three, as you saw. So that's just another thing I thought I'd bring to your attention, fellas. That's why I decided to make this video here. There's another thing I found that happens in everyday life. And that's what I told you guys. I wanted to make it where I was going to bring things to your attention when I see things that I think might help somebody out. So that's why I made this video, fellas. But anyway, guys, thanks again for checking my channel out. And I want you all to have a good night. So you all take care.